Hey everybody, Brett here again, and I am 4 days into my next goal, the next goal that I've set, an achievable, manageable, reasonable goal, and that was to lose 15 pounds by the time I leave for Moab on August 20th. So it was like 23 days before I leave, set that goal, started, and this week has been good. Today, woke up, ate bacon. At lunch, I had about 18 ounces of steak. Round steak is the cut that I had. Again, it's off my friend's farm, all grass-fed. The very interesting thing that I really paid attention to today, because of a video that I saw talking about how terrible our beef is here because all of our cattle is raised on corn. These cattle are not raised on corn; they're raised on grain, or grass. And there's not a lot of fat. Like when you look at the meat, it is red, edge to edge, red. And I'm assuming a lot of that is because it's grass-fed, pastured. They don't spend any time in barns down on her ranch, and it tastes great. All I'm doing is salt and pepper, and I cooked it on my Blackstone. So, if you've ever watched any of my stuff about how I like to cook a perfect steak, I do a lot of steak in a sous vide. But when you do a steak in a sous vide, typically you want a real thick cut of steak. And these aren't, 1 3/4, 2 inch thick steaks like I'll get at Costco. They are about 1 inch. And they're great. So I'm not complaining. I am tired, but I'm not complaining. But I've just been cooking them on a Blackstone. Some olive oil down on the Blackstone to take the bulk of the heat. And then I constantly kind of flip it, adding butter as it's continuing to cook. If I just put the butter straight on the Blackstone, it tends to burn up real fast. But if I put some olive oil down, I get the steaks started in it, and then I put the butter on it. It does pretty well. But yeah, I will cook those steaks to medium rare, and I'll just eat them like that. And any of the juice that runs out of it, I do consume the juice too, because it's tasty. So that was that. And then at dinner, we had hamburger patties. So I had a couple of hamburger patties with some cheese on the side, some Munster cheese on the side, and every carnivore's favorite thing in the world, American cheese on top of the burger. Cheese in general, not always the best thing to eat on carnivore, but I do keep it as part of my diet. On a burger, I just love American cheese. So that's what I had. I also had some pork rinds tonight. My men's group was here, and I did have some pork rinds there, but it didn't have any of the other stuff. The last probably 4, 5, I've had some of the other stuff. A little bit of the tortilla chips or sweet potato chips or a nut mix. So stayed away from all that again. And I did not drink. So I don't specifically not drink. And to get to this 15, I want to make sure I'm giving myself better advantages, and I know drinking can slow things down, so I'm not drinking right now. But water, pork rinds at the group, hamburger patties with the cheese. And then I did have 6 pickle slices. So I battle with cramping in my legs. I did it before carnivore, and I have it with carnivore. I have my electrolytes. I don't always talk about the electrolytes, but I use the Element electrolytes now, and I typically have one a day. So I'll put one in my jug of water, one of my earlier jugs of water, drink that, and that way I'm making sure that I'm getting plenty of electrolytes, and I'm still facing a little bit of cramping. So for me, the almost instant cure for cramping is pickles or pickle juice, and bananas. But I'm not eating bananas right now. But I am doing some pickle slices. So 6 pickle slices probably equates to 1 standard Clausen pickle. And then had all my water today. Probably had closer to a gallon of water today than my probably 3/4-ish that I usually drink, just because I had a couple large glasses of water with the men's group. So good day. And the numbers this morning are showing that it's working. Monday was 271.4. Today is 267.1. I need to get back to my old habit of writing these down so I don't have to remember them all. But 271.4 to 267.1, so 4.3 pounds. From Monday to Thursday, I think that's pretty good, right? So really it's 3 24-hour periods between those 2 measurements. So I'm happy with that. Tomorrow, what I'm planning to do tomorrow is I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to make bacon. At lunch, I'm going to eat steak again. But I've actually got some steak that was in the freezer that's already been cooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw it in the sous vide and bring it back up to temperature with the sous vide. So I'll throw it in there in the morning when I start working, and then I'll pull it out at lunch and just eat that. I didn't measure it. I probably should have, but it's probably pretty close to 16 ounces of steak. But yeah, that's what I'll eat for lunch tomorrow. Dinner tomorrow, I'm not sure about yet. I have some stuff to do tomorrow night. I got to figure out if I'm going to be leaving before or after my wife is going to be eating dinner to determine if I eat dinner here or if I choose to eat Arby's roast beef or Euro meat while I'm out. So those are my two decent options while I'm out. So at least where I'm going to be and what I'm doing. So that's the plan. That is where I'm going. One other good thing that I did tonight was I started planning food for the Moab trip. So one of the days we are going to be at the Bronco Off Rodeo, and they're going to provide lunch. I need to do some research on what lunch looks like. I think they also provide dinner. Again, I got to figure out what that looks like. But for the rest of the time we're down there, kind of got to figure everything out. So plan for Wednesday is that we will eat something in the car on the way, probably lunch meat, roast beef, turkey kind of thing. And then for dinner that night, we're going to go out to dinner. I'm going to find me a steakhouse in Moab, and we're going to go to dinner. It's my wife's birthday, so I'm going to take her to dinner. Then I've already got it lined up. Surprise, surprise. Bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs are going to be my breakfast on Thursday, Friday, and Monday Sunday, I'm still trying to figure out because we aren't going to be camping. We're going to stay in a hotel Friday night and Saturday night. The rest of the time we're camping. So I got to figure out what we're going to do that Sunday morning. I'm not going to have a camp set up to cook my own stuff. So just got to do some research. For lunches on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday for sure, we're going to do breadless sandwiches. So we're going to take some lunch meat stuff. May even look into some like grilled chicken breast instead of like deli meat. But I just have to refine that a little bit. And then Thursday night, we're going to do hamburgers at camp for dinner. So that's what we'll do there. Friday night, we'll find a place to get hamburgers or possibly chicken wings. A lot of the Buffalo Wild Wings use tallow to fry their wings. So if we can find one of those, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll find another restaurant type option that works. Again, got to do a little research there. But in general, I'm kind of getting things lined up so that I know what to do, what to pack, and make sure that whatever we're planning, I can actually cook at a campsite. Because that was one of the things. Like the hamburgers, I'm not going to have like a grill to cook on at the campsite. But I will have my camp stove and a fry pan. Well, I'm cooking burgers on the Blackstone now. I can cook them in the same fashion on the grill. So, I'm sorry, not on the grill, but on the camp stove. So that's what I'm planning right now. So, but that was some of my time tonight, kind of just before I came up here. Starting to map out those meals to make sure that I can eat right. My wife and I can both eat right, be out on the trails, and enjoy ourselves. So, if and when we get into a pickle anywhere, hamburgers with no buns and no veggies is always a good option out on the road, especially if it's a better place where you know it's just good beef. But, worst case scenario, McDonald's hamburger patties are ground beef and salt. So we can do those as well. So, but that's where I'm at. Good 4 days. Weight is coming down is my intention right now. My hands. I don't think I felt my hands all day today. And again, on Monday I was talking about how my hands were hurting, my knees were hurting. I don't think I felt my hands all day today. So now that I'm thinking about it, I feel a little something, right? But it's not terrible like it has been. So again, the inflammation is going away. Body's cleaning itself out. I'm doing the right things. So that is what I have. I will talk with you tomorrow.